Good afternoon. This is Skip Jeffries coming to you in the afternoon. Just got a side project I've been kind of working on here. I've got a couple, they call them self-watering gardens or garden beds, and I like to have a water gauge on them. And I kind of came up with this first gen design when I first built the beds, just using a simple bobber. Well, that one doesn't want to come out, but as you can see, we've got rot on all of them. But I think what's happening is that the water, because this wooden dowel sits all the way through the bottom, the water's actually seeping in and actually rotting the wood out. And after time, it tends to expand out and take on more weight. And just wanted to come up with a way that may be different, that I could use some household items to see if I can make some measuring gates for these gardening beds. And I'll take you out in the back in case you don't know what a self-watering type planter is. Pretty much, I've got a bunch of this corrugated piping that I've been using. I got a chunk here. But anyways, put this in the bottom of a planter, and then usually I have, depending on the size of your planter, but they're normally interconnected in a series, and then I run a PVC pipe down through one of them, and these things are perforated, so when you fill them up with water and you cover the top of this with soil, the water can seep out through the holes here, but the soil cannot seep in theoretically. I know a little bit of soil gets in now and then, but I've had at least one bed up for probably 3 or 4 years now, and probably, going on, I think this is the 3rd year. And then the other 2 I added the other following spring. Probably it was like, I think it was Christmas break when I was home for about 2 weeks. I'll take you back there and kind of show you the simple design, but just wanted to come up with a different way of maybe doing a project where I'm not spending a buttload of money. I mean, you could probably special order some bobbers that are a little bit heftier and may work, but I mean, you run into the same problem then every year. I mean, these things rot out and snap out, and I guess my solution is actually coming up with I've got a lot of these kind of like pill containers that I've got around the house, and you just kind of see which ones fit into the radius of what you have and go from there. But that's pretty easy. I mean, all you have to do is strip off your labels, and I mean, I've got pretty much, I'll strip off this label here and kind of run you through the process that I've done. Like I said, I've already done one, and I'm gonna probably test it out and see if it works. But the other problem that I've got too, these things are, since they're custom made flower beds, and the pipes and everything else, they kind of range in different sizes as far as depths go. And last year I just kind of did the general same, well, I think they're all the same size, and kind of went from there. This year I'm going to actually stick them down in through the pipe itself, all the way down, and measure where it will be coming out as empty, and then fill up these tanks and probably show where the max fill line on them is. And that way, I mean, it gives me a good visual when I go out to the garden during the week. I can look and go, okay, yeah, we're sitting at about halfway. So I know how much water I need to add to it, or whether or not the planter has been dry and how long it's been dry for is the main reason for this whole project. But anyways, you take your simple pill container, you strip off your label like I did here, and we can probably strip this one off too here. I mean, a lot of these labels are on there pretty good, so I mean, key is to get that outer plastic wax barrier off. And I mean, even if you leave some remnants on it, like I do on this one here, I picked up a product I've had for a while around the house here. It's kind of like a goof off, and you pretty much just spray down your bottle, and that'll actually take off that gooey, gummy residue. And I just kind of let it sit on there for a while. I mean, I'll spray one, peel off the label on the next one, and go from there. But pretty easy, simple project, not that hard. And then the other key aspect to this project is actually getting some dowels. And I went to Lowe's this afternoon and actually picked up these things here are 3/16" by 48" long wooden dowels. And they're a little bit, I guess, thinner. I don't know, I didn't really measure these things, but no, actually these are the same size that I used last year. So, and my other thing that I think I want to plan on doing to actually kind of prevent the wood rot is maybe instead of just painting a tip, I want to paint the entire wooden surface, and we'll see how that holds up. But I'm thinking as long as we can keep the end of this dowel out of the water, we should not have any rot problem. So we'll go from there. Yeah, let me finish peeling off this last label here, and we'll squirt it down, and I'll run you through the process. I mean, that goo off works pretty easy when you're doing a project to get things done. But all in all, I mean, simplicity of the whole deal. I mean, even if you do have some remnants of that outer layer, once you get that goo off on it, it seems to penetrate, or at least make you be able to peel off the label to where you need it to go. And I wish these labels would just peel off clean, but they never do. So I mean, I'll go ahead and squirt this one off here with the goof off, and just kind of generously douse it down. And as you can see by this one here, just your simple nail peels it off. I mean, and it's pretty smooth and easy. And ideally, you'd probably want to do that over in a garbage can. I mean, I hate having messes in the shop itself. I try to keep it somewhat clean. I mean, it is a garage, so I mean, it's not going to be like something you'd see in an operating room or anything type cleanliness in a shop. But I mean, I have several projects that I do throughout the week. I mean, I'm getting ready to dehydrate some vegetables, so I normally do that out in the garage just because of the aromatics that are associated with it. But I mean, to me, I mean, this workbench here is my main workstation, and you'll see a lot of my YouTube videos are done from this station here. So I mean, it's pretty quick and easy. I mean, I'm over halfway done. I mean, it peels off with your thumbnail, and I mean, you try to get most of it off, and then I normally hit it again with some more goof off, and it gets the remnants off. You'll have a pretty clean sized bottle to work with when you go to make your little water gauges. And I mean, these are, like I said, they're just simple pill bottles that I've had laying around. I've been kind of collecting them up through the year because I knew I was going to have to do something project that'll use it, and it kind of came in handy when this idea came up. It's like, hey, I need to do something because I'm sick of going out to the garden not knowing where the water status is on some of these beds. But anyway, yeah, pretty simple, pretty easy. And I mean, I've got 2 clean here, got this 3rd one here that'll probably clean up pretty easy. Yeah, so I'll get that one later off camera. And then what I'm looking for is just a filler to actually put into this thing. And I've got this old styrofoam container thing that I have. And that's just pretty much just pushing it down into it and giving it a twist. Alrighty, back again. I cut off the lids on these 2 pill bottles I've got. They seemed a little bit wider, and I need something a little bit thinner for some of these other pipes. But the other key thing is to fill these pill containers with some kind of a lightweight material. And I've got this old piece of styrofoam that I've had laying around. So pretty much just kind of pushing this guy down into it. Didn't work out as planned, but just kind of filling the bottom of it, and you just kind of give it a twist and push down, and pretty much cuts into it. And you get it as good as you can. I mean, like I said, this is like a DIY project. So I mean, it doesn't have to look beautiful. It's just got to be functional. And I mean, the main function of this is just kind of add some density. So when you put your stick in, you've got something that the stick can actually cling to. And then normally I'll top it off with some hot glue. But let me finish getting this one container done here. I mean, it's messy work. I mean, I just kind of pack it in there as tight as I can go and try not to deform your bottles. These other pill bottles seem to work a little bit better. I mean, I've filled already, what, 4? This will be 5. I think I've got 6 of these things I've got to do, so I'll go ahead and knock out these last 2. And I mean, I think you could probably use maybe like a spray foam would work also, but you just want something in there to hold your stick, or to give your stick some rigidity. Like I said, I've had this foam for a while, so I just wanted to find a project I could use it for and just kind of get rid of it. Yeah, you want to leave a little bit of space on top. Like I said, we're going to be putting some hot glue over the top of it. Like I said, you're gonna have a mess. So, and I think spray foam, wish I would have had some. I went to the store to pick up the sticks today, and it didn't dawn on me to go ahead and pick up one of those. But if your hindsight was 20/20, you would have picked something up to use for this type of project. I think it probably would have worked out pretty good. Well, that didn't work out as planned. I'm running out of real estate on this bad boy. Yeah, just kind of push down and twist and run down as far as you can. And like I said, it's just there for rigidity, so pretty quick, pretty easy. Do one more round in this one here and call her done, and we'll move on to the next step here. I mean, there's all kinds of products out there I guess you could have probably used. Something maybe less messy than what I've got going on here. So pretty much you're gonna push your stick through the bottom of this thing. Try to keep it center as you're going down. Like I said, even if it's a little off center, you can usually kind of straighten it out. Foam's a little forgiving. So we're gonna have some leftover sticks. Like I said, I've got quite a few planters I need to do. Try a straight pick, see if that works a little bit better, just to give us a hole. Yeah, that seemed to work out pretty good. I think I've got 3 of these, 3 of the other ones that we'll be using on these, and hopefully my hot glue gun here will be heated up to where I can apply that. I'll do one more small one. Yeah, I've been trying to do some projects here with the rain and everything else going on. Just kind of had to play it by ear. Kind of just do something that's somewhat indoors. I mean, it rained pretty hard this morning. I mean, enough that I couldn't do the project I wanted to get done taped this week. So we'll have to see. Maybe it'll be a weekend thing if I get a chance to work with the weather. Yeah, our hot glue gun should be ready to rock and roll here. There we go. And literally all I'm doing is just adding kind of a layer of hot glue to the top of that styrofoam. And it usually melts it down a little bit, but ideally I'm going to try to make where it kind of bubbles over, stays within the confines of the pill box itself. But you want it so in case water does happen to go down the hole, it kind of drips down the side of it is what I'm shooting for. And it also gives an extra adhesive to hold your stick into place so it doesn't fall out. And I ran into that last year with one of the planters I was doing. It literally, the end of the bobber fell off within it, and I ended up having to fish it out. Literally, it ended up having to almost tear apart the planter itself to get it out, but The end project looks somewhat like this here. See, you've got the glue end, and it's almost like a cap over the top of it. Like I say, I think what I'm gonna go for this year is probably maybe paint the entire wood dowel itself to maybe help protect it, to keep it from rotting out. But I think not having it in contact with the water itself will prevent it. But I'm gonna glue up the rest of these things here and let these things dry, and then I'll go out and see if these things will work. So, well, like I said, I'm going to actually measure on each planter itself, because I noticed last year I did a common distance, and it just, some of them worked great and others it just wasn't enough. I mean, cost wise with this project here, I think these wooden dowels rang up to about 82 cents a pop, probably the most expensive. And like I said, I kind of reutilize hill things from just kind of saving them, because there's always some kind of use that you'll have for them. Normally I just recycle them, kind of fill it in and go from there. Alrighty, so we got all our ends glued together. Pretty tight fit, as you can see here. I just picked up some regular, this is actually paint I've had in the house probably for the last year and a half. So it's a bright orange, so it's something that I'll easily see. It's a plastic dig blaze, so I mean, I'm hoping that it'll actually offer some protection for the wood, but I'm just gonna kind of lightly spray the dowels here to make it a vibrant orange. And as you can see, my paint booth sponsor this week, I think, is Dollar General. Their soda sales. My wife every once in a while will do the Saturday sales. So, like I said, it's just paint I had around the house, nothing fancy. I mean, you could probably use any type of enamel. I mean, as long as you get some kind of coating. And we'll see how long this lasts. I mean, like I said, the only reason I chose this type of paint is because that's what I had on hand, and it's been sitting around here for a while, and I just wanted to use it up. Gives you a pretty bright stick to see from afar. We're going to let that sucker dry. And continue to do the rest of these things here. I think I've got 7 total planters that I've got to paint, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up painting the rest of these things here, and then probably be tomorrow or maybe later on today I'll take you out in the back, kind of show you my systems that I've got going on there. I've got 2 potato boxes that I've got the self-watering planters design in, and then 3 big full size, I think they're 6 foot by 3 foot, I guess I'd call them bed gardens. And then I've got the 2 towers that I've got a self-watering system in there that you guys seen from a previous video. So to me, these are kind of nice little indicators, so I can just kind of take a quick look when I'm out there looking for vegetables, or just checking the status of the garden itself. I can do a quick bird's eye view and see where these things are lying as far as how much water is left in them, and if I need to add any more. So pretty much I wanted to give kind of an explanation of my self watering planters here. As you can see, it's just like my potato towers here. As you can see, it probably goes up what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boards up. But the first 2 boards at the bottom there, I actually encased it in like a plastic type wrap, and then I've got this tube that's inserted down through the soil. And you're talking on this one here, it's probably a good 3 foot of soil that I've got on there. But at the bottom of the soil there, I've got the 4-inch corrugated pipe. And this one's just a similar one, just a newer version. Here I've got my 3 foot by 6 foot self-watering planter beds. And pretty much the same thing. I've got it lined with a plastic liner. I don't know if you can see that on the side there. But this one here, I kind of went almost a full length, or tried to, on most of them. It was dependent on the type of plastic that I could get at the time, and cost factor too. I mean, I didn't want to spend 60, 70 bucks, so I went with the I think it was a $22 type. It's like a pool type liner. But anyways, squared it off, kind of stapled it to the side, inside of the planter, and then I did the 4-inch corrugated pipe all through the bottom of it, covered with soil. But I've got the center pipe here that goes down through it, and pretty much this is where I fill it up. And then to know when you actually hit the max, I've got these output tubes on the back side of it, and the water just kind of sprays out from there. I mean, once it starts, it hits its max point and the water starts pouring out of there. And I mean, you can see it's similar design on all these things. So I've got a total of 3 of these type 3-foot by 6-foot beds. And it's kind of a neat contraption. This one's kind of hard to see, but I mean, they're all similar. I mean, like I said, they've got the hole in the top where the dowel goes through. And I've got a similar system. I'm actually using a 5-gallon bucket for this wicking system here. So all the wicks actually go into the bucket. And I've got this thing weighted down with rocks, about a little less than between 1/4 and 1/2 of the 5-gallon bucket, and the rest is filled with water. And similar with this thing, exact same thing. So, I mean, that's the system I've got here. I just wanted to give you guys a quick explanation of what I was talking about earlier, but thanks for watching. Alrighty, in the backyard here at my planters here. This is what I call my SIP system here. It's just basically a pipe going into my planter that fills the corrugated 4-inch piping that I have in the bottom of it. But pretty much to get your gauge in there, and I've got a hole drilled into the top of this thing. I don't know if you guys can see that from the camera view, but pretty much just sliding that little dowel through it, and then kind of ranging the size. I mean, I just kind of stick it down, and this one's already at the right size, so pretty much that gives you an indicator. I can just do a quick look. I mean, when the water drops, this will drop. So we'll move on to this other one here, and pretty much the same process. This one here I know I will have to cut, but yeah, just pretty much drop it in the hole. Same deal here. I've got a little hole drilled into it, and pretty much I just kind of line it up. Brought myself out a cutting pliers here, and it doesn't have to be exact. I usually like to have a little nub up on top, but quick and easy. There he goes. I mean, I've got 5 others that I'll do here, but that just gives you a quick idea. I mean, quick and easy, and literally I think it cost me less than $6 to do this mod, and I'll know exactly what my water levels are within each unit. But anyways, thanks for watching.